but hello. So, um, I was working on messages and stuff for the Patreon. So I was like, you know what? Let me get on here. Let me see if I can get out of my element a little bit. So, yeah, I'm just gonna flow. If anybody decides to come across and like ask questions, I guess I don't know. Kind of, I'm out of my element. So. But I hope you're doing well. Hope you're hydrated, taking care of your body, and all that jazz. Also, I hope the audio is okay. I didn't do a test. That's it probably won't be on that long. So, ooh. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wow. The energy of regret comes up twice. Um, Essentially, this is for like each of the zodiacs and stuff. Like I'm just going through the signs. Um, and I'm just taking notes first, and then I'm gonna like type it out later. I feel like the sound in here is like really acoustic. That's not how you say that. I feel like the sound, like I don't know how to say that, but I'm saying I'm very out of my element. This is very weird. Um, okay. Hello. Welcome. Hope the audio is okay. This is good. But if anybody wants to ask questions, you can. Hello. Welcome to those joining. I probably won't be out here too long, but I'm here. And if you're interested in asking the questions, you can. Um, also, I'm gonna write them down. If you want to just stare at me, I guess you could do that too. In theory, thank you for the likes. I don't know who that was, but thanks. I'm working on my. This is for the Patreon. This is like messages and like little horoscopes or whatever. I don't call them horoscopes, but yeah, reminders, messages. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're hydrated, taking care of your body. I have some water right here. Water. Cancer. What's going on for Cancer? It's Aries season currently. If I could pass the present and get there, baby, it's worth a shot. Got enough time to plan an escape route. I say that because escape came out. Okay. welcome to whoever's here. Hope you have a nice day. Once again, I'm out of my element, so I'm like, I'm not a big talker when I'm out of my element. But how are you today? What's up? Okay. And then Leo, and then I have to like write another page, so. Yeah, sorry, this isn't the same as like I did yesterday. Yesterday, that was a really good live. But this is not the same as that. So if you were expecting that, I don't know. I mean, I could try, but I don't know. Once I'm out of my element right now, I'm not, I mean, I could try. I don't know. I don't know where to start, though. I don't know what to talk about. If anybody has anything they want me to talk, I could, this is like starting off point. If not, whatever. But yesterday I talked about acceptance, tolerance, rejection. Oh, I missed. I'm gonna have to pick that up. Also, there's a TV behind me. There's no remote, so I guess I'm supposed to just use. I don't know. Anyways, so what should we talk about? Gwendolyn, hello. You said let's talk about redemption. That's a big topic. What does it mean to be redeemed? Um, it means to like make your wrongs right, pay for your karma. You know, um, when we talk about redemption, usually there's like an element of like I did something wrong, I did something bad. Um, I feel like a lot of people are kind of scared of redemption because like it does denote like a level of like reaping what you've sown. You know, also the empathy card. Ha. You know, I mean, what about redemption? Maybe I should have like. I feel like I went in the wrong direction. What do you have to say about redemption? There's this really cool song called Redemption. Actually, I'm thinking of. I think I can't remember who the name of the artist is that sings it, but yeah, redemption is not necessarily easy, but it is a path that you can take. You know, when you know that you've done wrong. That's an interesting topic. I don't know why you brought that up, but it's definitely an interesting topic. And I guess in the realm of redemption, we can also talk about like, I mean, because like, I don't know why I'm thinking of like redeeming coupons. It's funny. Um, but like when you redeem yourself, basically, it's like you did something bad, and now you're like making up for it. You know, I know in the 12 steps, they talk about there's a step or there's a part of it where like you redeem yourself, like you make amends for the wrongdoings that you've done, um, quote unquote. I don't know why, because right or wrong, good or bad, like just labels, but because a lot of addicts they do a thing where they like they really fuck people over. They really mess up people's heads and stuff. And then when they get sober, they're like, hey, remember when this happened? I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better. You know, maybe not in that voice, but redemption to me is when I've been accused and reality is a lie. Now the truth comes out. Beloved, I don't know you from a can of paint, but that is not. I'm going to look up what the word redemption means. I don't think what you said has anything to do with redemption. The actions of saving or being saved from sin, error, or wrongdoing. The action of regaining or gaining possession of something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. So, yeah, it's when you do something bad and you make up for it, you pay for it. You know, maybe you scam somebody out of $1 million and now you have to like be in debt for $1 million. You know, it's like paying for what you did wrong. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about though. I feel what you're talking about is like I can't even think of the word, but that's definitely something else. Um, and a lot of people use the word redemption. They just throw it around, but like it's a serious thing. Like, you know, like on a karmic level, on an energetic level, it can be very, it can be a lot. You know, I remember I was reading this book a while ago, and it was talking about like karmic debt and like repaying for karmic sins. And with my own experience, I will say like when you clear your karmic debt, it is painful as fuck. When you take that road, when you take that initiative, it is painful as frick. Like it is not a pleasant ride. I remember one time I actually like recently, more recently, I asked for like you know some clearing, and like immediately after, I hit my eye like really bad on the door, and then my nose was bleeding. So I was like dealing with both of those pains, and it was just a lot. And I was like, I guess this is what I asked for, right? You know, because I don't know. Part of doing wrong, part of perpetuating evil is like doing it accidentally. Like we all hurt each other at some point, you know, unintentionally or not, you know. And it's when you're able to take accountability for that where you can really grow and heal, you know. Because I know for me, once again, using myself as an example, I know there's probably a lot of people that could claim me as like a villain because I don't know, like I'm very carefree and whimsical, and it's like I I don't know, like I tend to do some heartbreaking accidentally, and it's like realizing that was like a big step for me because it's like I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I didn't mean to like, but that doesn't matter. Like I didn't mean to kill anybody, but I still did. You know what I mean? I mean not me specifically, but like just because you didn't intend on causing harm doesn't mean there was no harm done. You know, and so I don't know. That's just some words on that. Let's see what direction. What else? Judgment. I guess that's like a similar energy. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Judgment. The word judgment can mean a lot of different things. I'm gonna look up the word judgment. Judgment and redemption. Ooh. I didn't mean to search that, but it like auto filled. Judgment can refer to the act of judging, the ability to make decision on a court's final decision, etc., etc. In a biblical sense, in a religious sense, it's like when God like provides consequences for wrongdoing, you know. So it kind of goes hand in hand with redemption, redemption and judgment. Um, it can also talk about like the unfair assessment of other people. Like, when you make a snap judgment, I mean, you can't use the word in the definition, but when you make a snap assessment of somebody, it's like that's a judgment, that's judging. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people use the word judge, but it's like it's kind of similar to discernment, you know, tuning in and like checking in with yourself and being like, is this for me? Is this right? Is this correct? Is this true? You know, you know, you know what I mean. Anyways, once again, I hope you're drinking water. I hope you're hydrating and stuff. Um, I guess another thing we could talk about is forgiveness. Um, hold on, give me a second. I'm like writing some stuff down. Forgiveness is a really powerful thing that a lot of people kind of like overlook. Now, obviously, everyone has different paths, everyone has different journeys, but like one big thing within the Bible is forgiveness. And I've been reading this book recently. If I can take it out. Oh, I lost. No! I've been taking notes after. Fuck. Um, but it does talk about forgiveness. It's called Real Life Love. Saying goodbye to the fairy tale and hello to true relationships. It's a really good book. It's Christian centered. There are Bible verses and stuff. It's not like super in your face, but it is a thing. And it does talk about forgiveness. Um, there's like a section where it says, where it has like the 7 tenets to like real love or whatever. And one of them is being quick to forgive. Um, but I would add also, like, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean like you try again. It just means you let it go. You accept it for what it is. You know, for example, if someone robs you, um, it's like you don't necessarily let them back into your energy, but like at the least you're just like, okay, it is what it is. Maybe they needed it more than me. Maybe, you know, I'm just chalking up to the game. You know, and it's once again for a lot of people, it's not an easy thing to do. Like I don't know, I feel like I've always been kind of forgiving to my own detriment, but it's not necessarily an easy thing to do to like let things slide, let things just be, you know. But if you can practice it, because it is something that you can practice forgiveness, practice discernment, you know. But then there's also the element of like some people aren't necessarily, and like by whose standard, right? But some people aren't necessarily deserving of forgiveness. Like some people don't have the remorse to like be worthy of forgiveness, and so that's where the discernment comes in. It's like, is this really is this really something worthy of my energy? You know what I mean? I mean, and forgiveness is supposed to be for you though, like as the person forgiving, um, because when you hold anger, it also talks about anger in here, which is really cool. When you hold anger, it's like poison. It's like you know you're drinking poison and you're hoping that somebody else experiences the consequences, and it's like that's not really how that works, you know. So yeah, this might be a shorter live. Yesterday I was on here for like an hour, but I feel like I'm overextending my time. So I do hope this was helpful. I do hope this is useful. Um, overall, you know, today's the third, right? Yeah, today's the 3rd of April. Um, sorry, give me a second. I'm like looking for something. Okay, I got it. Um, Okay. Once again, I'm probably gonna end this soon. For specific reasons. If you want to check out the Patreon, you can check out the Patreon link tree in the, or actually the link tree is not in the description. But yeah, remember to stay hydrated. Remember to practice sermon, and I don't know. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.